If the Holy Spirit was in me, I'm not going to be out here murdering. I'm not going to be out here bowing down to idols. I'm not going to be out here committing fornication. I'm not going to be out here dishonoring my parents. Why? Because the Holy Spirit wouldn't allow that. When the Holy Spirit is guiding you and is leading you, you are already keeping the law. In Galatians, when Paul is talking about the fruits of the Spirit, he says, if you be led by the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Also, that the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Why? Because if you are practicing all of those fruits, you physically cannot break the law, because all of the commandments ever given fall under those practices. It's also why he says in Romans, and I'm going to read this whole section because he sums it up beautifully. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 8 through 10. Owe nothing to anyone except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbour, you will fulfill the requirements of Yahweh's law. For the commandments say, you must not commit adultery, you must not murder, you must not steal, you must not covet. These and other such commandments are summed up in this one commandment: love your neighbour as yourself. Love does no wrong to others, so love fulfills the requirements of Yahweh's law. Okay, but I hear some of you saying, Jesus said that there was only 2 commandments we had to keep, because when he was asked which one was the greatest, he said it was these 2. Let's go to that real quick. We'll go from Matthew chapter 22 and 35. It says, one of them, an expert in religious law, tried to trap him with this question. Teacher, which is the most important commandment in the law of Moses? Yahushua replied, you must love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is equally important. Love your neighbour as yourself. The entire law and all demands of the prophets are based on these 2 commandments. But do you not see what he did there? He split up the 10 commandments into 2 sections. The first law are about loving the Father. The second law are about loving your neighbour. As you all know, the 10 commandments can be found in Exodus chapter 20. The first one is, you must not have any other God before me. That is loving Yahweh with all your heart, okay? Not make an idol for yourself of any kind. That is loving Yahweh. You must not misuse the name of Yahweh your Elohim, okay? That is loving him with all your heart. Honor the Sabbath day and keep it holy. That is loving Yahweh with all your heart. Your father and your mother. That is loving your neighbour. You must not murder. Honouring your neighbour. You must not steal. Loving your neighbour. You must not commit adultery. Loving your neighbour. You must not testify falsely against your neighbour. Loving your neighbour. You must not covet anything that is your neighbour's. Loving your neighbour. So for those of you who say the law is done away with and that Jesus